Ведь одно время казалось, что вот-вот.
But at one time, it looked as if a peace treaty was imminent. Why hasn't it been signed? People were literally standing on tiptoe.
Буквально.
Да, эти два процесса как-то...
Yes. For some reason, these two processes are somehow viewed separately in the West. We believe that these two processes should be integrated. The peace treaty and the simultaneous arming of Armenia against us are two incompatible courses. After all, we have actually made great progress with the peace treaty. Of the 17 articles of this document, 15 have been agreed upon, and only 2 remain outstanding. And during my last meeting with the Armenian Prime Minister in Kazan, what I heard and felt was that these 2 outstanding articles can also be accepted by Armenia. I mean our conditions. In this case,
Which articles, if I may clarify?
one of them is about refraining from filing international lawsuits against each other. I think this is a mutually acceptable article. We have recently completed a damage analysis, a very detailed one. We spent 4 years on it, and it documents everything. The damage caused to us during the years of occupation exceeds $150 billion. So, I think that refraining from mutual lawsuits would be mutually acceptable. And the other article concerns the non-deployment of representatives of other countries on our border. Why is this important for us? Because, under the guise of so-called European observers, NATO infrastructure has been created on the Armenian side of the border with us. After all, the issue of sending these observers was agreed upon with us in October 2022, at a quadrilateral meeting between Pashinyan, President of the European Council, Charles Michel, the President of France, and myself. At that time, we had not yet excluded France from the normalization process, and it was agreed that for 2 months, a limited contingent of EU representatives would.
Ограниченный контингент представителей...
Specifically observers.
Наблюдатели.
Именно наблюдателей.
Specifically observers. 40 people were supposed to be deployed for 2 months. After that, this mission was extended without our consent, and the argument was as follows. Why should we agree to this with you, if it is a mission on the territory of Armenia? Our argument was this. Then why did you agree with us in the first place? This is wrong. Then, the number was increased to more than 200 people. Moreover, this mission seamlessly turned into a NATO mission, as representatives of Canada also joined it. So, this is the second article on which we must come to an agreement. There are 2 more things the Armenian side needs to do. The first is to amend its constitution, because the Armenian constitution contains a reference to the Declaration of Independence, which in turn includes territorial claims against Azerbaijan, and declares the former Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Region as part of Armenia. Therefore, changing the constitution is not a whim of ours, but an objective necessity. Our second condition is the abolition of the OSCE Minsk Group. Since this issue is decided by consensus, it is formally impossible to do it without Armenia's consent. Although the OSCE Minsk Group has not been functional for a long time, it still formally exists. Our question is this. If Armenia has recognized Karabakh as a part of Azerbaijan, and the Minsk Group was created to solve the Karabakh issue, why is it still needed? So, Armenia's reluctance to liquidate it, and to apply together with us to the OSCE for its abolition demonstrates that the plans of the revanchists are quite serious. This is essentially it. If all this is resolved, there will be no more obstacles to signing the peace treaty. As for the ongoing arms race, it cannot be part of the peace treaty, of course, but it will be a part of another format of interaction with Armenia. We will continue to try to make the Armenian side aware of the harmfulness of such actions, first and foremost for themselves.
В первую очередь для них самих таких действий.